One of the things that confused me when I started listening to the Lucy Letby trial by Caroline Cheetham and Liz Hull, it was shortly after I'd listened to a real murder case podcast, the Murdoch murders in America, and just how much evidence that they had in the Murdoch murders, and so we're going to look at Baby O. They were alleging injury to liver. They don't actually say it, but they're basic. All you can do is imply that she punched the baby or something in the liver, and like the prosecution said, we hadn't seen that sort of we wouldn't have found that expect to find that sort of injury from falling off a trampoline or a bicycle accident or something ridiculous like that. Now, obviously you can't be doing any tests with injuring babies, but we've got here now here's an actual crime, and what you can do is see the difference. Father found guilty of murdering his 2-week-old son. I'll put all the links in. Now, what is interesting about this? So basically, it's some homeless scumbag with his homeless, I'm going to say wife, who probably not married. He was arguing with the mother about whether or not he was the father. The staff at the hospital noticed him rough handling the kid, and it's a premature baby. And a post-mortem examination found Brendan, the baby, died of blunt force impact or impacts head injury with multiple non-accidental injuries to the head. Now, that's interesting because in the post-mortem they've actually they'd managed to identify that the injuries were non-accidental. In other words, they weren't natural injuries, which again, in the Letby case, the baby died of natural causes. The post-mortem said it didn't say non-accidental, and there was no witness to it. But I mean, you can only assume that the guy punched the baby. But it says here, look, the baby was covered in bruises to his face, scalp, chest, abdomen, shoulder, hands, legs and feet. There was hardly a part of his body that was spared. And so how that's the devastation that would be caused from an adult male attacking a baby. Not it wouldn't be confined to just one part of the liver there. And the other thing that you notice is this baby died after one attack. There's no surviving 3 attacks like some of the babies in the Letby case. Reason being, because this one is real. I mean, obviously, yeah, males are stronger than females, but this guy being a homeless crackhead, he looked a bit skinny, fairly weak, but as they would be. And the other thing, I'll put links in, but you can have a read about how much of a scumbag he was, and the baby was actually going to go into was actually going to be removed from their care anyway, and they don't need to make up. They're never actually mentioned on here checking his Facebook, or they didn't mention here about how much money he won or didn't win in the Grand National. And it's the same if you have a listen to or if you monitor any real actual crime case where an actual crime has been committed, and the amount of actual evidence there is, because people get bogged down in this. Could Letby have found 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there? Could she have maybe done this, maybe done that? If an actual crime had taken place, there's loads of evidence. All right, so just have a look at the difference between a real crime and the Letby non-crime. And incidentally, let's not forget, Letby, they've given a whole life sentence for each and every attempted murder. So I presume this scumbag is going to get a whole life sentence as well, but probably not. I mean, we won't know until the 3rd of October, but I'll be keeping an eye on that one.